Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Justin with the Millennial Mixtape, back again on this beautiful dreary day with an album review. Today I am very excited. We're going to be diving into Thundercat's It Is What It Is. I'm honestly more excited about this one than I was for Childish Gambino's latest. So, after the break, we're going to take a little listen and see what we think. All right, thanks again for tuning in. I am Justin with the Millennial Mixtape. Picked up a little bit, so we're back in the car, and today we're talking about Thundercat's latest It Is What It Is. Now, this is his fourth studio album. I have been waiting for this one since I heard Dragonball Durag, watched the video. It's nutty, he's nutty, but I like that, and I think you will too. Now, about this album, he's put out 3 singles so far. The first one was King of the Hill, which he actually teased back in 2018. Then he put out Black Qualls. Then he put out Dragonball Durag. He dropped that about a month ago. Apologies if the camera angle just changed on you. Your mind is not playing tricks. My battery died, and then I had to reposition after getting back in the car. So anyway, back to Thundercat. If you are not familiar with him, his real name is Stephen Bruner. He comes from an exceptionally musically gifted family. His brother's name is Ronald Bruner Jr. He is a talented drummer, and they've actually collaborated quite a bit. So I will link a couple of their songs down below in the description. So about this album, it is short, it's just 15 tracks, 37 minutes. So you could probably listen to it on your commute and have it start back over before you find your parking space. It is not a long album at all, but it is a journey. It is a journey. So thematically, Thundercat has said in an interview that with this album, just sometimes things don't make sense. He's coming off of the loss of one of his good friends, Mac Miller, back in 2018. And I don't know this for sure, but I believe the majority of the writing for this album took place after Mac's death. And from that, you get this ethereal emptiness. So as you're listening to the tracks, as you're listening through this album, I recommend that you listen to it through. Again, it's not very long. I would listen to the entire album through, and you get this almost emptiness in all of the songs. Now, whether it's conscious or not, if this is something that Thundercat did intentionally or not, I can't say. So the loss lends itself to this album in kind of a peculiar way. So it feels empty, but at the same time never feels like it's lacking anything. And maybe that's because of how the instrumentation and everything is arranged, because of, I mean, Thundercat's songwriting abilities, clearly he's a bass guru. He's great at that. And it's weird. This weird paradoxical juxtaposition where something's missing and you don't know what it is, but you never feel less for it, right? You never feel like the album or the songs are less for that. Now, throughout the album, you get different tinges and flashes of things. So it has this almost like 70s blaxploitation film soundtrack to it. It's got this like muted, driving, thumping bass over this like funkadelic guitar with this kitschy kind of pocketed drum sound, and like it's nuts. So my previous review for Dua Lipa's Future Nostalgia, the name tells you what you're in for. It's this brought back sound. So the 70s and the disco sound have come back with this 21st century songwriting and production values. And with this album, it works to like the nth degree. So you get this, as I said, 70s blaxploitation sound, but it sounds so good. The layers, everything sounds so good. Just sounds great. One of the tracks that I just like is bonkers, blew my mind, is Houseway. And we know that Thundercat is a great bass player. And when he gets to show that off, man, does it sound good. So on Houseway, I get this like Victor Wooten classical thump vibe. And oh my gosh, like Thundercat, like just play bass all the time, right? Just play bass, like just live in my brain and play bass all the time. You have a couple interludes scattered throughout the album just to kind of give you some breaks. They're all really short. On an already short album, none of them are longer than a minute. You get How I Feel is one towards the beginning of the album. You also have Houseway, and then actually the intro track is almost an interlude in and of itself. That song is called Lost in Space, Great Scott 2226. And the reason I say it's almost an interlude in and of itself is because when I listened to this album, I let it play through and then I repeated it. And this is almost like a conceptual album. So when it ends and comes back into the beginning, it's almost like an interlude, and then you're diving back into the songs again. Another song that I really loved was How I Feel, actually. So, again, this interlude. And the reason I loved it is because it has this trippy B movie science fiction flow to it. Like, it sounds like it needs to be on ABC on Saturday night. Like, it's like, it's raining like this and you're watching TV with your parents, as a kid. Like, it's like, it has that kind of feel to it. I just love that kind of like trippy, cinematic, atmospheric thing that he's got going on with that one. King of the Hill is the most straightforward of the songs. So this one was actually written and previewed in 2018, a little before Mac Miller's death, and it sounds the most different. So that's why, in my own interpretation of the songs and of the music, I feel like this album, with the bulk of it being written after Mac's death, you get like a tonal shift. Tonally, it's very different from King of the Hill in particular. So on Fair Chance, we have a couple rappers laying down some verse on it. This song represents the kind of music that Ty Dolla $ign was born to rap on. He sounds so smooth and it sounds so mellow all together. Like, this is the kind of stuff I want Ty Dolla $ign to do all the time. It sounds so good. All right, so the song Existential Dread is the song we all need right now with the craziness that's going on. With lyrics like, I don't know what's coming next, but as long as I'm breathing, I know I'll be all right. So just, if you're having a down day, if you're having a rough day, if the isolation is getting to you, just put this on repeat and breathe and you'll be all right, right? As long as you're breathing, you'll be all right. This is the song we need right now. So put this on repeat. That's it. That's the thought on the song. Just put this on repeat. Funny Thing has this astro jazz funk thing going on, but then like vocally it sounds almost like a 90s pop song, which is weird, but it's not at all weird for Thundercat. It's kind of right on par for him. But I definitely enjoyed it. I thought it was good. And I'm trying to place the melody for the chorus, but I don't know where it is. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. We also have a song called I Love Lewis Cole. And Lewis Cole, if you're not familiar, he's in the band Knower. He is also a jazz wonderkind, multi-instrumentalist. I believe he went to Berklee School of Music. He either went to Berklee School of Music or USC. But he's nuts. Like, he's so great. I love everything that Lewis Cole puts out. With Knower, it's a little bit more of a stretch. Knower's fine. I enjoy Knower. But for me, Lewis Cole's solo projects that he does on YouTube, with his frequent collaborators, like, just so good, so inventive, so creative, and he's just crazy talented. So anyway, so with I Love Lewis Cole, lyrically, you're getting exactly that. It's a celebration of Thundercat's friendship with Lewis Cole, and it's great. It's fun. Of course, the music is stellar. Lewis Cole has this frenetic, frantic drum part that's overlaid with just kind of like straightforward jazz bass, and clearly Thundercat is letting Lewis do what Lewis does, and production-wise, it sounds great. I loved it. I thought it was good. And the last song on the album is the longest one by far, but it only clocks in at 5 minutes and 3 seconds. Lyrically, the content of the song is over at 1 minute, 20 seconds. And after the lyrics are over, after the vocals are over, you're introduced to this Afro-Cuban Latin jazz thing that I just like, I'm here for. I loved it. I thought it was so great. And he's introducing me, at least, to this new artist, Pedro Martin. He's a guitar player from Brazil, I believe it is. And oh my gosh, it's just so good, right? Like, I love anything that strays from the norm. And I haven't heard good Afro-Cuban Latin jazz since Michel Camilo's last album. He's a Latin jazz pianist. So yeah, so if you're into that, like, check out Michel Camilo as well, and you won't be disappointed. Okay, so final thoughts on Thundercats. It is what it is. If I were to give this a value, 1 to 5, 1 is the worst, 5 is the best, this is a solid 4.5 for me. Like, Thundercat can do no wrong. I love experimental, crazy jazz like this. When you put the hip hop over it, I love it even more. It's got elements and influences of everything I enjoy. There's the lo-fi, there's the jazz, there's the pop. It's all there, hip hop. So yeah, so this is a solid 4.5 out of 5 for me. This is damn near perfect. So I think you should check it out and let me know what you think if you have heard it in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it as well. So with that, I am done. I'm Justin with the Millennial Mixtape. If you like the content I'm putting out, please like the video and subscribe. Hit the bell gizmo when you see it so you're notified of any new videos I put out. And if you could, share with your friends, and they share with your friends, and they share with your friends. And if you've got crazy avant-garde jazz people in mind that you want me to listen to, put them in the comments below. If you want to hear if you want me to hear other collabs that you are familiar with from Thundercat and other people, like if he does more stuff with Ty Dolla $ign that I haven't heard or paid attention to, send it my way. I'm all about it. They sound stellar together. So anyway, I'm Justin with the Millennial Mixtape. I will see you next time. And until I see you, stay well, stay safe.